Hey, how's it going? My name is jackiefishhh and welcome back to another Total War Arena video. Today we're going to be taking a look at friendly fire, more so when is it okay to friendly fire your own units and when is it not okay to friendly fire your own units. I have noticed, especially in the lower tiers, but sometimes even in the higher tiers on Total War Arena, just, your friendly archers just pouring arrow fire into fights which you're winning or when it's not beneficial to your team. And you may say, like, it's never okay to friendly fire. But in this game, sometimes it is okay to go all Ramsay Bolton and pour arrows into losing fights or particular units which may not be benefiting from that engagement. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll load into a replay which I think really kind of shows when friendly fire is good and when friendly fire isn't okay. I'll run through a few other things which I have in mind, but I'm going to be winging this kind of guide video more than anything else. So if you guys feel like I've missed anything or I said anything wrong, let me know in the comments down below. And also if you found this video useful, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And let me know if you guys want to see any more guides, whether it's on units, factions, or anything like that. As I wouldn't mind doing, like, why should I pick the Romans? Why should I pick the Barbarians? Why should I pick the Greeks when I'm first entering Total War? And kind of giving a breakdown of the strengths and weaknesses of each faction. That could be kind of a fun video as well. So let me know in the comments down below and we'll jump into the replay now and I'll see you guys there. Okay guys, we are now in the replay. We are on the map in the Alps, which is probably my personal favourite map overall. I think it's just an absolutely awesome map. Really, really enjoyable. Lots of different ways to move around on it. I'm playing with my boy Pixelated Apollo. He's going to be playing on my right flank and he is also playing some barbarians, which kind of brings me on to my first point. When you consider friendly firing, it is really, really important to kind of understand what you're shooting in. So, for example, you can look right here, these Roman infantry soldiers, if we actually take a look, we can probably even see, we can see that these Roman soldiers currently have a 51 missile block chance. Then if we take a look, for example, Pixelated Apollo's missile block chance, we can see it's only 30. So when you are considering to friendly fire into a fight, you really have to take a look at what units you're shooting into. Because obviously these Roman infantry soldiers, these Astarte, will take a lot less damage than, say, Pixelated Apollo's barbarians. So if it is, for example, an even fight, there's 3 Romans on the enemy side and 3 barbarians on your side, shooting into the barbarians won't be a good chance to do that. Even if, for example, there may be 3 Romans and 2 barbarians, even that situation might not be beneficial because of your barbarians having less missile block chance and you're shooting them in the back, so they don't get any of that shield defense either, which goes ahead and reduces this melee shield defense right here as well. They won't get any benefit from their shield itself because they're getting shot in the back. So you have to be really careful, and I think that's kind of one of the most important things not a lot of people think about, is taking into account just, what units you're shooting into. As well as that, you also have to take into account what formation they're in. There's stuff like Fight in the Shade, which could be really beneficial. So it's always good just to look up here on the left, click on the enemy units, and just see what they're in, what abilities are affecting them, what, missile block chance they have, before really committing to that friendly fire. Another really, really important tool when considering friendly fire is taking a look at the numbers in the fight. If it's a winning fight, for example, if your infantry are winning that battle, then it's obviously never a good idea to friendly fire because they're already going to claim victory in that battle. So there's no point then just shooting into that and kind of causing more casualties that which would have been avoided with just letting your teammates fighting the battle out. And I think we'll see one of the first examples of my friendly fire really taking part. I'm actually hammering this infantry as it does come down. So for example, right here, if we go down to slow-mo, I think very, very soon I'm going to start focusing down this area. So first thing I did, I took a look. So it's our Roman Hastati up against 1, 2, and 3 enemy Hastati. This is also a losing fight, because some situations you could have friendly pikemen holding the line, and it's just no need to shoot into them, because they're going to win the fight. Even up against a million units, there's no point. So you can see I'm making my way over here. I first looked at all the units, and I can see this is a losing fight. There is no way we're going to even come close to winning this battle whatsoever. It's going to be a lost battle, so that means I might as well shoot into it, right? As well as that, we are heavily outnumbered, so I'm going to be hitting more enemy units than I am friendly units here. So that's why I'm going to start pouring in arrows in here, doing a lot of damage. Again, I'm causing a little bit of friendly fire, but I'm hitting a lot more enemy units more than anything else. However, my pikemen are going to be pushing up very, very soon and helping out. So as soon as I see that, as soon as I see the pikemen moving in, I'm going to be stopping my archer volleys because, you know, I know my pikemen will just be impenetrable from the front, and there's no point shooting into the backs of my pikemen. I'll just let them do their thing because I know they're going to do a great amount of damage, and I don't want to hit them themselves. I also just took a dirty peeler throw right there, which wasn't too good. But yeah, so as I said, just to kind of recap there, I saw we were losing the fight, and something you have to also take into account is a lot of the time, fights are going to be quite even, and you shooting into the fight is just going to kind of cause more damage than good. It's better you looking for a better kind of situation more than anything else. Maybe getting around the flank and then shooting the enemy in the back could always be a good opportunity. For when you go into these kind of even fights, it's never really that good to volley in. Just let your kind of teammates fight it out. And if it does dramatically turn in one favor or another, then it's a good idea to then pour arrows in. So again, here's going to be a good example of when I friendly fire. You know, there's 3 enemy infantry here. There's 1 kind of smaller of our infantry. And it's not going to be good for me to shoot into... I mean, it's going to be good for me to shoot into this because you can see we're heavily outnumbered. Like, this battle isn't going to be close. It's going to go, obviously, one way. So that means it's 100% okay for me to shoot in. Something else you can really take into account when friendly firing are these numbers right here. You can see this kind of orange number is the damage I'm doing to my friendly units, and this damage right here is the damage I'm doing to my enemies. So you can see I've done 482 damage to this kind of small unit and 7,000 to the enemy units, meaning obviously this friendly fire is worth it. But as you can see, now that my teammates are coming down, I've got barbarian infantry here, and we heavily outnumber the enemy. There's no real need for me to shoot this anymore, because this fight is 100% going to go in our favor, unless something dramatically happens. I do focus fire on the back here, which you can see works out really well. Didn't hit any friendly units, hit a lot of enemy units. So that's something you can really use as well, is using that focus fire, just to stick that at the back of the enemy lines and doing a lot of damage to it. So you can see how I suddenly switch targets and now no longer shoot in. Now, for example, this could be a good battle. So I take a look. This is hoplites. This is obviously phalanxes. I decide to stop shooting here because my phalanxes are making their way up. I know these guys will win this battle. However, I do start shooting for the sole purpose of these guys now have their backs turned to me, meaning they don't have them shields to help block the arrows, and that's going to allow me to do a lot of damage. You can see I'm doing a decent amount of damage to the hoplites, but I'm racking up so many points on these guys, and as soon as they decide to start turning around, I will go ahead and change my focus. So that's something really interesting to take into account. Again, just to kind of emphasize the fact, there's no point friendly firing into this area right here. We have 1 barbarian infantry, which I would do a lot of damage to, so I want to kind of avoid that. And then we also have, you know, Roman infantry flanking round, so we're going to win this fight. And even if it is kind of close, even if it was just this, and the Roman infantry would stand a good chance in this battle, it's still just not worth shooting into it, because, you know, we're kind of edging the favor of this battle just a little bit, so there's no point to kind of just kill everything for no reason. I'm just going to let this battle play out, and if the enemy happen to come out on top of that engagement, then I'll just finish it up with a couple volleys. Most of the time, there's always other things to shoot, and even if you're not shooting all the time, then you know you don't have to be shooting all the time when it does come to friendly fire. You can always just look for different engagements, or just sit by and wait for enemies to come to you. Something you should also know as well, there isn't actually a cancel button when it comes to shooting. You can't just press backspace and your units will stop shooting. You have to move them. So when, you know, for example, this situation right here, you can see our pikemen going in. And this is actually a really, really good example of when it's okay to friendly fire and when it's not okay to friendly fire. So you can see I'm making sure I'm focusing the back unit right here. Apollo has popped his Scorched Earth down there, which is burning them down. And you can see we have 1 unit of pikemen up against 3 units of Roman infantry. And then the reason I'm still shooting this is because our pike player didn't manage to get his pikes down. If he had gotten his pikes down, that would have made him an impenetrable wall. He would have won that fight. pretty dramatically. So that meant, you know, that because he didn't get that down, he's probably going to be losing this fight a little bit. So I'm going to be focusing fire as much as I can down on this big area of Roman infantry, along with Apollo's Scorched Earth, which makes the missiles do more damage. We're going to be slaughtering these guys. However, now that there's not many of them left, and there's a lot more of our soldiers left, I'm going to stop shooting, because once the enemy starts to get whittled down, I'm going to be hitting more of my own units than I am the enemy units. So there's no point friendly firing here, because I'm going to be causing more damage than good. So that's another thing you have to really take into account, is just how many units you have in the battle. Even if they're, you know, one of your units to 3 of theirs, if they've got 3 smaller units, there's no point shooting at this kind of blob when we've got, you know, a big full strength unit here. It's just not going to be worth it. And you can see we're moving up and just running away from the battle as the pikemen. So you can see right here, for example, the pikemen are just never going to get defeated here. So it doesn't matter if they've got full 3 strength units or what, the pikemen are already going to always die. And I like that Apollo getting some friendly fire on the pikes as well. So yeah, as I was saying, I think before I interrupted myself, is you have to make sure you move your units when you want to stop shooting. You never want to be volleying into your own, you never want to kind of just leave it auto-firing. So just make sure you move when you want to stop shooting into that fight. And you can see we are going to go ahead and just take that, and then we're going to push up and move on the final part of the battle. So I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to kind of get across. I know I did ramble a lot in the video. Hopefully you guys got some good points. I probably should try and structure these videos a little bit better in the future, just having my points laid out. But I kind of like doing these more kind of laid back like guides. I feel like it kind of gets... I feel like it's just more like, it kind of gets my more opinion across instead of me structuring the video. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But just to recap, so rule 1 when looking to friendly fire, what unit am I shooting into? Am I shooting into friendly barbarians or Roman or Greek infantry? Obviously, it is always good to check for missile block chance on both the enemies and on the allies as well. You know, it's really quick to go ahead and find out. Also, bear in mind that when you are shooting into friendly units, you have to go ahead and take their shield block into account, because the shields are going to be facing away from the arrow fire coming in behind them. So you also have to kind of, you know, understand that as well. But your friendly units probably aren't going to have shield blocks, so you're going to be doing a lot of damage to them. Rule 2 is, how many units do we have in this fight? Do we outnumber the enemy? If yes, I probably shouldn't shoot into the friendly units. Rule 2 is, when I am going to be shooting into friendly units, make sure to use focus fire whenever you have it available. Focus fire will allow you to hit a small portion of the enemy and obviously focus down them as much as possible. Then finally, it's just kind of, you know, taking your own judgment into account. Always look, if the fight is close, don't just go ahead and just shoot into your own friendly units. It's just not worth it. Let the fight play out, and when it starts to tip into the enemy favor, then consider shooting into that engagement itself. And if it tips into your friendly side, then just sit back, wait for them to win that battle, and then move up. Hopefully this guide has been useful. Make sure to drop a like and a comment down below if you did find it useful. Let me know if you feel like I missed anything in the comments down below, and we'll just let this battle play out as we do push on to victory. And do also, oh yeah, this is something I should definitely mention. Friendly fire can happen through phalanxes as well. So whenever you're playing as hoplites, this is something I should have mentioned ages ago actually, it's actually really important. Hoplites can also friendly fire alongside pikemen. And you guys just saw there that I lost, what, like, probably half of my archer units right there from that guy who was still in phalanx formation. So, again, for example, if you've got a phalanx down and you're attacking the enemy, and then your cavalry comes in behind them, rear flanks the enemy, routs them, and you're pushing forward with your phalanxes or pikes, and the enemy are routing, running away, and you're then running onto your own friendly horses, you're going to be friendly firing them. So make sure you get out of phalanx whenever the fight is going in your favor, and you're going to be doing more damage to your allied units. So you have to kind of keep that. I think it's just the Greeks are known for friendly firing with pikes, hoplites, and archers. So yeah, please make sure to watch your hoplites when it does come to friendly fire, because you can cause a lot of damage to your own units just because hoplites are really good at killing infantry from the front really quickly. So do bear that in mind. You guys saw it right now. That guy could have easily have just pressed his T button, got out of phalanx, and just fought normally. And sometimes it is good to get out of phalanx, maybe take a few more casualties because you are out of phalanx, but you're not going to be giving any friendly fire to allied units, so it's definitely something to keep in consideration. So yeah, hopefully you guys found this video useful. If you did, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. I'll try and maybe structure these guides a little bit more. I don't know, I'll see how this one goes down before really deciding whether I do that or not. Also, I'm not sure if it's going to load. I won so many battles last night in a row. I'm not sure if it's loading or not. If we can have a look. I just want to show you guys really quickly. Yeah, look at this kind of stream of green. Hold on, dude. Look at this stream of green. I mean, well, blue. Am I colorblind? Yeah, a few losses there, but then another huge amount of wins as well. Like, I was going ham yesterday. Really just winning so many battles. And that's actually managed to boost up my my win rate up on Scipio up to 62%, which is really nice. Almost 400 victories with him as well. But yeah, cool. Sorry. Going off on a bit of a tangent here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to drop a like and a comment down below if you did. And I'll see you guys next time. And fish out.